Welcome to an ESPN special presentation, The Decision.
In this fall, I'm going to take my talents to South Beach and join the Miami Heat. It's going to give me the best opportunity to win.
15 years later, LeBron James teased his social media followers with the second decision. But everyone can relax. It was just a commercial, but that didn't stop basketball fans around the world from freaking out a little bit, just for a couple of hours. This is just a snapshot of some of the reactions, and it gave us all a moment to consider what the moment will eventually look like. Because at Media Day, LeBron said, quote, "I don't know when the end is, but I know that it's a lot sooner than later." And for a hot second, fans thought that sooner might be right now, because the Lakers' final game of the season, it's at home against the Jazz on April 12th. And the least expensive ticket for that game, it jumped from $82 to $580 after LeBron's post, according to Vivint Seats. Our Dave McMenamin is at the Lakers practice facility in El Segundo. That was one heck of a fake out by LeBron, Dave. How many text messages did you get from folks wondering what this was? 20? 30?
Yeah, it was in the 20 to 30 range for sure.
20 to 30 range for sure. I was one of those text messages. But the real question, it's going to come at some point, right? What has the reaction been so far to this decision 2.0?
Well, listen, Malika, if you think back to the summertime, there was another ad that LeBron was a part of where the tagline was, "What's next?" And now that you have the decision 2.0, it shows that LeBron and his decision makers are playing with the idea of the unknown perception of what is going to be the end of his career. Is retirement looming this year? Is he going to extend with the Lakers? Or is he going to go somewhere else and play season 24 and beyond? And I think the fact that they are toying with it and acknowledging it through these ads is saying something in itself. That is why you're having Rob Pelinka going into the season saying stuff like, "I think it'd be a great thing if LeBron James would be to retire a Laker," because it's so imminent that you can't even avoid it in his commercial, opportunities he has off the court.
Right. There was a time in which it would be inconceivable, not to quote the Princess Bride, but it would have been inconceivable to think of LeBron making a joke about the decision, something that for years afterwards he spent a lot of time thinking about whether or not that was the right mechanism. And now that time has arrived. Let's turn the page to something that we know is happening right now, Dave, and that's Luka's first full training camp with the Lakers. He hasn't played yet in the preseason, but what are his plans for the remainder of camp here?
Well, certainly the Lakers expect to have him on the court for maybe 2 or even 3 of the remaining 4 preseason games. And he'll get some reps with his new teammates and also get reacquainted with the guys he played with the end of last year. But part of the thing that Luka lamented at the end of last year, there wasn't enough practice time for this team, and there wasn't enough time for them just to get to know one another and build that camaraderie. And so he's taken it upon himself to work on that. This summer, him and about a half dozen of his teammates went out to Las Vegas to the Sphere to see a Backstreet Boys concert. And today, after practice, he's taking all of his team on his own dime to the Porsche driving experience in Southern California. They're going to be going around the lap in 911s and GT3s. It's going to be the type of thing where you get your mind away from the basketball court. You get to see each other in a different environment, have some fun doing it, and build some memories that hope can take you through the lean times that are going to, of course, occur at any time over an 82-game season.
Okay, going around and driving some sports cars? That sounds like a lot of fun. I would love to do that for the NBA Today team building, but it may be more like go-karts, not quite sports cars. Dave McMenamin, thank you very much. All right, here's a look at the Lakers' remaining preseason schedule. They have 4 games left, including what should be a fun matchup against Luka's former team in Vegas on the 15th. Hopefully we see him in that one. You can catch it right here on ESPN. Before we move on from the decision part 2, you were a part of the decision, the original, the OG, Brian. What was your reaction to this little fake out here?
Well, we've heard of no-show endorsement deals. This is the exact opposite. This was requiring LeBron to go not only do the endorsement, but also access something in the decision that for years, well over a decade, was a third rail topic around him. The fastest way to end a conversation with LeBron or his close associates between about 2010 and maybe about 2022 was bring up the word "the decision," because they were so deeply scarred. So as Dave Dave referenced, the idea of LeBron joking about retirement makes it feel like he's getting more serious about it. The idea that LeBron will now basically joke about the decision, even if it comes with probably a pretty good check, indicates that he's gotten to the point in his career where he could laugh at something like that. It has been 15 years. It's been a long time.
Yeah.
But if I had told LeBron he would have been doing this commercial in about 2012, he would have laughed at me.
Yeah, there's some serious scar tissue that had to be worked through there. Let's talk about a more imminent decision here, and that is when we could see LeBron on the floor, because he's been dealing with that glute issue. Shams, what more can you tell us about his plan to get back on the court for the Lakers?
Like, I'm told LeBron James has started to ramp up here. He's doing a little bit on the court, but I'm told the expectation is still that he's likely going to be out for the preseason, the goal being to be ready for opening night on October 21 against the Golden State Warriors. So he's doing more and more on the court, starting to do more basketball activities. But we'll see if he's able to get a game in before the regular season.
Okay, and we're really hoping that we're going to see him in that opening night matchup between him and Steph Curry, because we don't know how many more we're going to get. That's a decision that we could see coming down the pipeline here. We also got the long-anticipated debut of Cooper Flagg last night, and he looked pretty good. I know, Bobby, there was not a whole lot of rotation players out there for the defending champions, but Flagg is who we should be keeping an eye on. Huge block there.
We could have gone 5-on-1 last night, and I still would have been excited.
Anthony Davis there for the slam. And then going ahead a minute later, Flagg gets it at the top of the arc, drives, dishes it to Lively for the reverse jam.
Great ball movement.
Later in the first year, we've been wondering how much Cooper with the ball in his hands playing point guard we were going to see here. Dishes it off once again, this time to Dwight Powell with the flush. The Mavs, they would lead by 9 after the first. Second quarter, less than 6 to go. Mavs getting out in transition a little bit here. A nice pass to P.J. Washington and one.
Well, and here's the thing. Even though they didn't have most of their guys, they still had Case and Wallace guarding Cooper last night, bringing the ball up the court.
Absolutely, and that is not an easy task. Flagg, nice finish. The Mavs, you know what? The score is not what's important here. It's the step back three, Bobby.
That is NBA ready right now.
Absolutely. Youngest player in the league and looking so mature beyond his years. Flagg drains the pull-up three. He finished with 10 points, 6 rebounds, 3 assists. Here's Cooper after the game.
I mean, I had a lot of fun. This is a great team. We got a lot of really good guys, a lot of great players, but I thought we just played together really well, and, that's a fun brand of basketball to play. And the ball's moving around. Everybody has each other back, so it was fun.
I thought he did a great job of finding guys. He found PJ for and one, then also being able to play off the dribble and shoot the three. So, for an 18-year-old, it's kind of special and kind of fun to watch his ability to handle the ball in those situations, and he's only going to get better.
It's time to say howdy to our partner, Tim McMahon, who was in Fort Worth to see Cooper Flagg's debut last night. So, Tim, you were there. What stood out to you from the Mavericks after seeing him in action?
Howdy, Malik. I thought Cooper Flagg was as advertised, and his value as a guy who impacts the game in a variety of ways, an extremely versatile player. I thought it was fitting that probably his most spectacular highlight was on the defensive end of the floor when he swoops in from the weak side, swats that shot off the glass, gets a fast break started. He might make a bigger impact defensively as a rookie than he will on the offensive end. You don't hear that very often about a teenage player coming into the league. And then on the offensive end, all 10 of his points came in a flurry, but I thought the biggest test that he passed was, like Bobby said, bringing the ball up the court against Case and Wallace. There weren't a lot of court players for the Thunder who made the trip. Case and Wallace was one of them, though. This is an elite defensive player, an elite on-ball defender, an elite playmaker. If you can bring the ball up the court comfortably, patiently against a defender like Case and Wallace, you can do it against anybody in the league. You see Cooper Flagg here bringing it up, getting to his spot, making the right read, which he did over and over again. You didn't see him force anything in this game, and finding his teammate for an easy bucket. That's the kind of play that the Mavericks are asking Cooper Flagg to make over and over again throughout his rookie season, throughout what they believe, and he believes, will be a Rookie of the Year campaign.
Yeah, the odds makers say the same. Look at you, Timmy Tapes in his bag there. I want to bring Kendrick Perkins into this discussion as well. Perk, what were your early impressions here of seeing Cooper running with the other Maverick starters?
Well, it was a lot, but on the defensive side of things, he showed his impact because he's so versatile, meaning that he could guard 1 through 5, but if you need him to play out of position, if you need him to anchor the defense, he's a hell of a rim protector. And we got the film right here, Malik, okay? I broke down a couple clips. I want you to see Hell of a defender, high IQ. Look at him as a rookie, pointing, communicating, seeing ball, seeing man. Watch here, his D'Angelo Russell gets in trouble, get back cutted. Cooper Flagg is there, and watch how he's running the floor. Although this lob went to Anthony Davis, Cooper Flagg sprinting the floor, being the outlet just in case. And then offensively, this was just a beautiful thing to see. Pick and roll with him and Anthony Davis, guys sagging back. Watch Cooper step right into this three-point shot and knock it down. I believe we're going to see a lot of that two-man action, and it's good for him to start feeling comfortable right now at that point forward position, especially with Anthony Davis while we're in preseason.
Bryant, that lineup, though, it was huge here for the Dallas Mavericks.
Yeah, they have a lot of depth on this team. We know that Nico Harrison has prioritized size. That was part of what the Luka Doncic trade was about. And I think there's going to be stretches this year where Cooper is the pure point guard on the floor more and more. And, you know, McMahon and Perk broke down the nuances that he was doing. This is what gets so many people excited about Cooper. And this is what Jason Kidd was talking about when he says, as an 18-year-old, to see him play like this. As I watch him, to play with such confidence, to be given so many responsibilities. You saw in that film, they want him with the ball in his hands, making a bunch of decisions on offense. They want him being that low man on defense, guiding their defense a little bit. You don't see that with 18-year-olds. And so he may not go out there and average 25 points a game, Malika, especially with the team that's got this much depth. But those nuanced decisions, that's what gets people so excited about his future.
It's also so rare to see a number one pick come into a team that has the expectations, even with the injury to Kyrie Irving, that the Dallas Mavericks have here. But Brian, you've mentioned a couple of times the depth here of the Dallas Mavericks. Let's dive into that depth just a little bit more. Bobby, what do you got on that front?
Well, it's one thing to say it, but when you see it on the touchscreen here, this is what jumps out on me. We saw last night Jason Kidd roll out this lineup, certainly with Kyrie Irving out, D'Angelo Russell starting at the point guard. But look at this column right here when you're looking at Max Christie, Najee Marshall, Caleb Martin, PJ Washington, who started 56 out of 57 games last year. Look what you could do with this lineup. When Kyrie comes back, out goes D'Angelo Russell here. When you want to start Max Christie, maybe you could take out Klay Thompson here. This is probably the deepest team in the NBA. We haven't even talked about Daniel Gafford, who's out right now with that ankle injury. Brandon Williams, who can give you some bench minutes here. But when I look at the D in Dallas, it starts with depth with this team.
Oh, I thought you were just listening to Taylor Swift's
JJ Redick. Lakers taking a cautious approach with LeBron James ahead of his 23rd season. The Los Angeles Lakers officially kicked off training camp on Tuesday, but one major name was missing from the court, LeBron James. Head coach J.J. Redick explained after practice that LeBron is dealing with a minor nerve irritation in his glute, and given that he's heading into his unprecedented 23rd NBA season at age 40, the team is taking a deliberate and careful approach to his ramp-up during camp and preseason. It's probably going to be a longer runway leading up to opening night, Redick said. We're in uncharted territory here. After talking with the staff and with LeBron, we all agreed he may have pushed a little too hard in last year's training camp. And for me, as a first-year coach, having his full buy-in was incredible. But this year, we're being more methodical. He's got 22 seasons of wear and tear, and right now, he's dealing with a slight nerve irritation. So we're thinking long-term. There's really no blueprint for what LeBron is doing. No one has ever played 23 seasons in the NBA at this level. But what Redick is doing now is learning from how things were handled last season and adjusting to make sure the Lakers have their leader healthy and ready for the stretch that truly matters, the regular season and beyond. You're going to hear me say this a lot. It's uncharted territory, Redick emphasized. There's no roadmap for a player who's logged this many minutes, carried this much responsibility on both ends of the floor, for this long. We asked a lot from him last year, especially early in camp, and now we're working together to find what truly works best. The good news? LeBron is fully aligned with the plan. Everyone, from the coaching staff to the medical team, is on the same page. Still, there's no confirmation yet on whether the plan includes LeBron suiting up for any of the Lakers' 6 preseason games. It'd be great if he did. Of course, Redick admitted. We'd love to see it. But if not, we'll make it work. While seeing LeBron in preseason action would certainly help build chemistry, especially alongside Luka Doncic and the other new starters, health comes first. The Lakers are making it clear, this season is a marathon, not a sprint. LeBron on training camp plans. We'll figure it out. When LeBron James spoke at Lakers Media Day, he echoed Reddick's approach. It's all about being smart, not rushing, and staying engaged. We're still figuring it out, LeBron told ESPN when asked about his camp and preseason availability. Of course, I want to be on the floor as much as possible, but we all know where I'm at, physically and mentally, and the coaching staff knows it too. We just want to make sure we're aligned when the time comes to step on the court. This is year 23 for me. I've made huge strides this off-season. I've been training all summer. But even when I'm not on the court, I'm still locked in. I'm tuned into everything we're building. That's what matters most. As training camp progresses, the Lakers' approach with LeBron has sparked discussion across the league. While some fans are eager to see James back on the court as soon as possible, most analysts agree that the team is making the right call by managing his workload from day one. Inside the organization, the message is clear: preserving LeBron's health and effectiveness over the course of an 82-game season, and potentially a deep playoff run, is far more important than a strong start in October. The decision to ease him in slowly isn't just about his age, but about sustainability. The Lakers are building their strategy around maximizing his impact when it matters most. Beyond LeBron, this also gives new head coach J.J. Redick a valuable opportunity to assess the rest of the roster more closely. With James sitting out portions of training camp and potentially the preseason, younger players and recent acquisitions are getting extended reps in practice, a crucial factor as Redick shapes his rotation and offensive system. Reports from camp indicate that Redick has already started experimenting with lineups that don't rely solely on LeBron initiating the offense. That includes more touches for Luka Doncic in primary ball-handling situations, as well as a larger role for supporting pieces like Austin Reeves and Rui Hachimura. The hope is that, by spreading the responsibility, the Lakers can reduce the physical burden on James while improving overall team fluidity. LeBron's role off the court has also taken on new importance. Several teammates and staff members have noted how engaged he's been despite limited on-court participation, constantly communicating, observing drills closely, and offering feedback to younger players. It's a continuation of his evolution into more of a mentor figure, one who still leads by example but also understands the power of his presence and voice in building team culture. Around the league, other teams are taking notice. The cautious strategy mirrors what the Spurs did in the later years of Tim Duncan's career, or what Miami has done with Jimmy Butler in recent seasons, prioritizing long-term readiness over short-term gains. In LeBron's case, the stakes are even higher. Not only is he still playing at an elite level in year 23, but the team around him has been reshaped to support one final push toward another championship. As for LeBron himself, he remains focused and optimistic. Speaking briefly to reporters after Media Day, he emphasized his commitment to doing whatever is needed, whether that means leading on the court, guiding from the sidelines, or stepping back when necessary to ensure his body holds up for the full campaign. The question now becomes how this slower ramp-up will affect the Lakers' early season performance. Will the chemistry develop fast enough? Can the team find its rhythm without relying too heavily on James in October and November? And when he does return in full, will the calculated patience pay off? One thing is clear: the Lakers and LeBron are thinking bigger than just the next game. They're thinking about April, about June, about legacy. And in year 23, every decision matters that much more.